Is this working? Oh, for... Oh, for doodle! You special needs, you toggled the microphone off. Anyway, as I just gave a long rambly speech and did my whole introduction unaware, big shout out to Positive. Thank you so much, dude, for pointing that one out. Thank you. I genuinely did not spot that one. It's been one of those days. Good evening. Good evening, English. How are you doing, good sir? Hope you're having a wonderful day, just like everyone else's. It is now time for 20 minutes to commence here in qualifying. With that said, we're going to enable all the necessary graphics to ensure that everybody has the most fun experience possible. None of the drivers are interested in leaving the pit lane now. They are probably getting their setups and adjusting things like front wing levels, rear wing levels, and tyre pressures, as they can be adjusted from session to session. With that said, I think this should be a fantastic race in our hands here, as all 19 of them are very keen to fight it out for this incredible championship. Make sure to subscribe to all three of our uploading accounts: hyper_tier_racing at Twitch, hypertier racing on YouTube, and for Doodle V2 to get access to all the races once the season is over, and Twitch to have them live. And now, just as I say that nobody wants to go out, suddenly everybody fancies like leaving the pit lane. I think it's a Haas of Phoenix is the first out on circuit. Lovely stuff to see that from the American-Russian hybrid team at the moment. So let's jump on board with the Phoenix. I mean, it's not a super serious lap, so you can just enjoy some beautiful graphics here. But as it stands, I think this is going to be a very interesting session. I'd like to see your predictions, stream chat. I'd love to see them. But alas, my personal prediction, looking at the lineups we've got this evening, oof, I'm going to play it a little bit safe-ish and go for an Armour King win. I do not know why. I just think they've not had a win in quite a while here at HTR in terms of main league racing, so I think it is overdue to see the Welsh Dragon get a win at this championship. But we are about to go on board with Phoenix, as that Haas engine is extremely loud. Oh, they nearly cut the chicane there, but all is good. A slightly compromised entry, but I'm sure the sweat has already started as they've invalidated their run. Matthews on the mediums, sand badges on the mediums. There's a yellow flag, but I think it's just cars letting other cars through. The head is not on a run at the moment, but they will be in just a few moments' time, as now their flying lap or flying run has commenced. Oh, but they back off for some reason. They invalidated that final corner. Right, on board with Druid then, who is yet to complete a lap time. Will probably be one of the first to do so. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's a Mercedes there, but I think they're just letting other cars through. Yeah, they are, so it's nothing to report. Oh no, it's just positive there, being happy citizen and letting everybody through. Breaking down now into turn, well, one of the last ones, as there's another car letting another car through. But now Druid has got a lot to prove. I think they did in the sense of trying to win the title, if that is their aspiration. But they did a fantastic race last time, though, managed to achieve second place there. Excellent stuff there by the British drivers. Matthews got on par with 1:10.1. Druid's gone a little bit faster with a... Oh, but then Smidgey's got even faster with a 9.5. The Aston Martin driver getting an excellent run there. And I'm sure that'll be a run they are absolutely proud of. Pepski with a 1:10.1. And Matthew just 3/10 shy of that. But they are on the medium tyres, so they could easily find another for 10th if they wanted to. Excuse me. Mastallo darts out of the way. as the Haas teammate is letting it through, but these drivers will invalidate the lap times. The head did set a 1 minute 21, but it was invalidated, and I believe they do have enough fuel for quite a few runs actually. I think I can see 4.5 on the dashboard of the Red Bull car, so I think that'll be easily a few more runs in this qualifying session, but we'll jump on board. How high can the head go? That is a very good question indeed to answer. Again, stream chat, if you've got any questions or would like to donate, please do so and we'll acknowledge it. As Druid sets the fastest time so far with a 1 minute 9.2 there. Fantastic stuff from the British driver, removing any shoulders or any chips on the shoulders, at least when it comes to their qualifying pace. Again, track evolution will be kicking in, which is when more dirt is laid down from the circuit and the surface becomes more worn, allowing the drivers to push even harder on newer compounds of rubber, as the head can only go 5th with a 1 minute 10.2. Right. As Andrea is on invalidated, remember Basketball Dan has said 1 minute 1 through the first sector. But lower in the standings is the Alpine team principal, but I am sure they could have a great result today if all goes their way. Coming through the final corner, can they dodge the wall of champions? Yes, so far nobody's hit that infamous wall, which is always a good start to your Canadian Grand Prix, because that was clearly a banker lap, as it is a 1 minute 31. Very unrepresentative there. Positive might not complete their lap. No, they do not. Sam could complete their lap. And they're going to do so on a set of medium tyres, so again this is not going to be fully representative of their true pace, but it's a 1 minute 10.6. Not bad, puts them into 8th place. I could see them getting as high as 5th, maybe further to push on some soft, so let's see what one of my fellow commentators can do in this tier. But with that said, I don't think... Oh, Hurricane is on a run, interestingly. Let us see what the new AlphaTauri driver can achieve in moving from Alpine to AlphaTauri. 4th fastest, an excellent run there at a 1 minute 9.6, one that I'm surely he must be very proud of so far, given the circumstances of the track, not fully rubbering in. But everybody is starting in as Phoenix, sorry, has set a 1 minute 12.3. Thank you, Norton. Alpine for the win. Easy win, huh? Easy win. That's somewhat a domination. Okay, I'll be very interested to see if that comes to fruition. Basketball Dan on their second run sets a 10.2. Not a bad lap time, given we are just coming to halfway of the session's duration for qualifying, which is usually 20 minutes in length in short qualifying mode. However, speaking of Alpine drivers, the other one is a new, well, I say a new face, somebody who did not get a full-time contract in the first half of the season. Packafan127 here, the American, the real American, is on a charge, but locking up there. They have shown some good pace throughout their time here at HTR, but will a bit of rust kick in, as they've not been in a full-time contract for quite some time. With that said, it's going to be DRS all the way open, so they're going to brake now, turn right and then left, and it's a beautiful push, but they've invalidated their run. The American has invalidated, but it would have been a 10.3. That would have slotted them, ladies and gentlemen, into 9th. Ooh, I think they're going to be a little bit gutted with that one. But Spenny is on a run. One of our... somebody who, at least in my time, is a bit of a newer face to the HTR rostrum. But somebody who has been around in actuality for quite a while. But certainly, if you are a viewer of us since our Twitch days, you will know that this is one of the newish faces to the public. Ozama Kinga there has gone 7th. My prediction for a race winner with a 1 minute 10.1 there. Interesting stuff from the Welsh Dragon. With that said, it currently is an A top 4. So if you like the letter A, it's in the top 4 with Alfa Romeo, then an Aston Martin, then another Alfa Romeo, excuse me, and an AlphaTauri. But Spenny turns that car nice and easy. That nearly getting on the grass. That could have costed them massively there. They're going to get the tow from their teammate Andrea, who plays the team game and lets Spenny go through. Fantastic stuff there by a young Italian driver. And now it is DRS, a little bit of a compromised exit there into that corner, but it is pole position with a 1 minute 9.1. I think we could get into the low 1 minute 7s. Sorry, high 1 minute 7s. What am I even saying? Basically, around a 1 minute 7.8, I think could be achieved by our tier 1 drivers this evening. Smidgy is on a run. Matthew is on a run. Lurcher for the win. Well, I'm sure that you may want to put that prediction tomorrow, because there is no Lurcher competing within tonight's race, I'm afraid. As it looks like Spenny is going faster slightly, but they invalidated their run. With that said, I think, due to the nature of Canada not consuming as much fuel to the amount you have to lift off, and the game having a very high, amount of fuel you can use, drivers can easily get a good 2 runs. Excuse me, I'd say they would go for. But can I just say, whoever predicted Lurcher for the win, I like your username. A wild pie is Hurricane has set it a 1 minute 9.7 there, the Tottenham supporter. I'm sure doing a decent second run at the moment. And Pakistan is on their second run, boosting all the way now with the DRS and the ERS on hot slap. I suspect it's a 1 minute 10.5. Ooh, that's going to make the Alpine win a very interesting prediction. But Basketball Dan has found half a second here. This could be a bit of a jump up the order. Let's see what the Electric Boogaloos can do. At the moment, as Druid's retired. Oh, Druid has obviously gone off somewhere, and that is a massive shame for the Alfa Romeo driver, who may tumble down the order knowing how competitive this grid is. But the Mercedes driver comes to the line. It's almost half a second improvement there into 8. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that run. Meanwhile, Matthew 7034 has gone up by 3/10. Those soft runs, those sweaty runs are coming into effect. English Matthew to win. Well, let's see if this happens, big boy. Let's see if this happens indeed, as Matthew comes across the line beautifully there, does not touch the wall of champions. Excellent delivery out of the corner. Let's see if that's a signed sealed pole. It is a signed sealed pole with a 1 minute 8.9. Fantastic stuff there. If you are an Alfa Romeo fan, I'm sure you'll be buzzing. Positive did settle that time for 1 minute 9.4. So excellent stuff there from the Tier 2 reigning champion. Phoenix is going up slightly and has not invalidated their run. So we'll jump on board with the Haas, as Sandbadger, interestingly, has set a 1 minute 9.6 there. Good enough for 7th. Pretty good run by the Badger indeed. I'm sure that'll be a run they'll be very satisfied with, given the context of everything in this race. We'll jump on board with Phoenix, as they are one of the ones looking like they're going to complete a run the most. As Andrea has snatched pole position there with a 1 minute 8.8. Fantastic stuff there from the McLaren. I think we're starting to see a bit of a recurring pattern. Oh, but Phoenix has invalidated the run. You cannot take too much curve around the Wall of Champions area. It will cost you in a qualifying run. Let's see what Sam does. Currently sitting in 18th out of 19th cars. Yeah, don't worry, I figured English, but thank you for the observation. As Sam comes across the line, it would have been a 3/10 improvement, which would have slotted them into 17th place, sorry. Right, who else is where? Andrea's invalidated their lap time, but well done to the Italian there, who's lost their front wing, but has managed to go on pole position with a 1 minute 8.8, and I have a feeling some rain could be coming down, viewers, and that is why the drivers are even more keen to set a lap time. I mean, obviously, there's no rain particles as far as I can see on that McLaren chassis, but who knows? As Hurricane is sensing something in their beautiful new helmet. And let's see what Hurricane can do here. The number 46. Let us see what they can do here. Moved across from Alpine to AlphaTauri, wanting just a new change of scenery really, and I do not blame them. They will be signed with me for the rest of the season to replace Tundra, who sadly broke his wrist. So again, on behalf of the whole league, we wish him a speedy recovery. But not many drivers now, with 2 minutes to go, setting a lap time. I say that and everybody's going to start leaving the pit lane, aren't they? Yeah, that's how it works. Creations is going out for a run. Again, did a fantastic job last time, if I am not mistaken. But I can actually clarify to you all what did happen last time. If I move over to the good old results screen, it was Creations did snatch the fastest lap, so congratulations to them on that extra bonus point. But it was Thallo who's currently waiting until, I'd assume now, to get going. It would be a bit interesting if they did not make a move, unless of course they've got a penalty to serve, as Veloce has left the session, so I don't know what was going on there. But Thallo did win your Bahrain Grand Prix from Druid, and then Pepsi in 3rd, Smidgy in 4th, Spenny in 5th, Hurricane 6th in their last race for Alpine, Creation 7th, Kevin 8th, Basketball Down 9th, and Positive 10th there, with a couple of other drivers finishing there or thereabouts. So this is it. Knowing the circuit's length now, if a driver wants to set a lap time, they have to be out the pit lane now to set it. Otherwise they have to stay in Creation's first set of time. Puts them into 3rd on 1 minute 9.0. Not bad at all. Next up, I think it's an AlphaTauri coming across the line of Hurricane, who's got about a couple of tenths faster, 2 tenths faster. Nearly 3. Excellent stuff there. Not quite able to beat Druid, but very close. There's a bit of a parking lot going on here between the 2 Alpines, a Ferrari and an AlphaTauri. Right, who is up next on the road? I think it's an Alfa Romeo, but they're on a hot run. So Sandbadge is also on a hot run. What about the Mercedes on a run? Thallo is on a run. So we'll start then with Matthew, 7034, as everybody is now going to be very keen to cross the line. I'm not sure if even half of the cars will settle the time, but we'll see what happens here, as we've just got a couple of laps to go until the end. A couple of seconds in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. Qualifying is officially over, so the drivers will have to set the last time. So the likes of if I can find someone in that situation, as Phoenix has retired from the session, interestingly, of Hurricane, will have to finish their run now. So let's see what the AlphaTauri can do. They have got enough fuel in that car. It's put them into 6th there, but a bit of a more conservative lap there. The Armour Kinga got 13th, a good 2/10 improvement. Meanwhile, whilst Basketball Dan did go 4 tenths up and spun! Oh, luckily they've kept their car in one piece. But that was a very solid improvement there, up to the top 10. Right, on board with Matthew now. Let's see if he can get pole position. He's got it by 2 tenths. It's not enough! It's only good enough for P2, just shy by 0.004 of a second. Right, there could be some other movers, but we're going to focus on Spenny here. Let's see what the McLaren can do. If his teammate got pole position, can he snatch it off him? Oh, a bit of a drifty final corner there. Positive into 5th place. Let's see what happens now. Spenny stays 4th. Right, Creations is not a hot run, nor is Andrea. So we're going to have to go down further down the order to see if anybody can get this pole position, as Hurricane is charging fast and furiously to try and prove something to their boss, I am sure. They cut the corner slightly. That's invalidated their run. Oh, what a massive shame. Smitty has cut their corner. Sandbadger is on a run. Basketball Dan cannot. Sam W11 is on a run as Creations is retired from the session. Pepsi with a 5-place grid penalty for colliding into Creations. What has happened there in the pits lane? Oh dear, I'm sure that'll be investigated by the stewards team. The first of many accidents. I am positive about that one. However, the last driver to settle that time, it is all down to Sam. Can he somehow find a magical pole position, unless my graphic is blocking me, in which case that is just fun, and yeah, it is blocking me. So, as it stands, unless if it is Sam and he's going to do his run, no it is not. He did got by 8/10 there, a fantastic lap time with a 1 minute 9.8, so I'm not sure who's still got to run. But it is Andrea on pole position there in the McLaren car. What you love to see from Matthew Creations in the Alfa Romeo and Williams respectively. Then it is Spenny, Andrea's teammate in the McLaren in 4th. Red Sug doing a fantastic job with his new recruits. So, we've gone through the top 4, then it is Positive in 5th, a good run by the British driver, Druid in 6th, Hurricane in 7th, Smidgy in 8th, Sandbadger in 9th, Armour King in 10th, Basketball down in 11th, Phoenix 12th, Sam 13th, Kevin Annihilator 14th, only missing out there on 13th by an incredible 7 thousandths of a second. Jerker in 15th, Pakistan 16th, 17th, The Head 18th, and Thallow in 19th, but Pepsi will be starting last anyway because they have a 5-place grid penalty. Oh, stream chat, that is going to be a very saucy grid. The top 2 were separated by 4 thousandths of a second at the line. Oh, that is absolutely mental. That is absolutely barnacles. Interesting legend. Matthew to win, Sambat. Unlucky there, Jerker. But there is still a race to go. It looks like we could be seeing some mixed weather conditions. The drivers will only know this information, but, I mean, come on, it is looking pretty grey in the skies there, mixed with some sunshine, so we do not know which end of the pits lane, or the weather forecast, sorry, it will go down. But what we are seeing, the second part of the pits lane, is somebody has been very keen to go racing, either that or it has been signalled by an official. We will find out the tyre strategies in just a moment. Obviously, the top 10 will have to start on the tyres they qualified, which I believe is softs, the red marked compound, but everybody behind, so from 11 to 19, can choose what tyres they want to go on for the race, whether it be some mediums or hards, or they could alternatively go onto a fresher pair of soft tyres. So, the 2 dots will not come on at all, and the cars will gently go off the field. Right, let's go and look at some tyre graphics then, shall we? So Andrea, your pole position sitter, has managed to achieve... Do you know what? I'm going to actually... there. Connectivity issues. Cannot connect to one or more players, possibly causing included players farewell. Configurations ISP problems. Your bandwidth connection is poor. The host network connection is poor. Wow. Yes, that is one of the changes Codemasters have brought to version 1.15. You now get to see the host bandwidth, the general bandwidth, and connectivity issues. So just be warned, the lobby might have a few aliens about, who knows. But Andrea is on the softs, along with all the other top 10 drivers. Interestingly, Basketball Dan and Phoenix opted for the softs, with Sam W11 going on the mediums there. A brave call from the new Haas signing. Kevin Annihilator on the softs. Jerker going for the mediums. An excellent choice there from the Czech soldier. Pakafan, the Head, Thallow are on softs, with Pepsi on the mediums in last. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining the stream, but basically, Andrea got pole position by 4,000ths of a second. I know, absolutely insane stuff, but the Italian is going to be leading the front lines at HTR, despite how their race ended last time. I think you're mistaken, English. I don't think it's 8.4 second. Oh, the time. Yes, if it was the time, that is the one you were looking for. It is a 1 minute 8.4 for the two of them. But again, you can always watch the stream back, 14 days live here on Twitch, and then another, what's the word, forevermore on YouTube, both at HTR Racing and But that said, the 10 red dots come on as there's a lot of jumping about. Oh, it was a false start. Here they come, 3 dots, 4 dots, 5 dots. And away they pub crawl. It's Andrea gets an excellent start on the line. A beautiful cover off. The Alfa Romeo Creations is seeking to get that lead. And does that pretty much good for second, I should say. The lead was not quite successful, but certainly was second. A lot of movers and shakers, but thankfully all 19 of them make it through the first corner relatively successfully. It is excellent stuff to watch. Meanwhile, any moves going on, not quite at the back, but the front. Andrea's pulled a massive gap over Creations, who is creating a bit of a train, I have to say, for the likes of Matthew and Spenny. Let's go on board here. What's Matthew going to do? Is he going to try any manoeuvres? Again, the Canadian walls are notoriously strict, and the corner cutting penalties are basically do not go over the extra orange things, otherwise you're in massive trouble. The tyre strategy today is roughly a 2 or 3 stop, with a soft medium medium or a soft medium medium, but again, 1 stop could work, because there's contact there between Matthew and Spenny. Oh, was that giving the McLaren some front-wing damage? I wonder. Meanwhile, further behind, everybody has successfully negotiated the first lap. No dramas. Hallelujah! A HTR race without dramas is what you love to see on lap 1. Hopefully I haven't spoken too soon. And it looks like the Sandbadger has crawled off that section of the corner. There's a fastest lap already claimed by Andrea. But Druid is going to try and get 6th place, but close but no cigar is the old saying. The Ferrari will keep 5th as Hurricane gets a little bit close to Spinala Drone, but thankfully they just need to keep it calm, keep it cool. Positive is not pushing at the moment, so they don't need to worry that hard about the Mercedes drive. Meanwhile, Smidgy, formerly Kieran or Kirangis, is doing a respectable job there, 9th in the Aston Martin. But Andrea pulling an absolute worldie of a gap there. 2 seconds in 2 laps. This man, this past few races, has found an absolute new level of pace, and hopefully we do not jinx their formers. Meanwhile, Spenny is trying to make Creation's life an absolute living nightmare, it seems, as Sam W11 there gets a manoeuvre done on basketball down on the medium tyres for the Haas, so an excellent overtake on their return to the league as a driver full time. But Creations and Matthew there nearly going into the Wall of Champions, but using their excellent car control skills to save them. Sadly, Phoenix is a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, the first, I'm sure, of what will be many, knowing how strict the Canadian qualifying was. Thank you for the sweet compliments, a wild pie. Thank you for your pleasantries. But let us see what the Mercedes of Positive can do here. Not much at the moment, it's okay, no need to panic if you are an AlphaTauri. Just need to keep it calm as this DRS going to be enabled. Could be a move around the inside, but Positive backs out, wanting to keep their car in one piece there. Excellent stuff from those two. Meanwhile, as Andreas pulled an absolute seismic gap, Positive is going to go around the inside here. Hurricane, excellent defence by the Tottenham supporter. And bit of wheel banging there. I think the stewards might want to look at that one, so the best thing could be to let them through, or do a little cheeky switcher back and try to get them. But the tactic has worked from Hurricane. They have got Positive's DRS. Positive did have DRS off another car. I don't think that was the case, because Hurricane got the DRS of Druid. As we are on to lap 3 again, the laps are very short around the circuit. Montreal, as you can imagine, is Phoenix is making a pit stop. I think they might have damage, it seems, from some of the points time, but now it is Hurricane in 7th from Positive in 8th place there. And Creation's got a penalty! And it's a spin round for the head. The head has lost the body, it seems. Oh no, they've spun right round. An excellent 360 there. One of Formula Drift I'm sure would be proud of. But alas, it has not been a good stint for them. As Creations has picked up a penalty, it seems. What a catastrophe for them, of 3 seconds in worth. That could drastically stuff over their chances of winning a race, but it is a long Grand Prix ahead, and they'll be able to slowly just chip away at the others with persistence. I'm sure as Matthew there is getting a bit of a drift out of that final corner. I wonder if they maybe prop their rear tyre pressures too high or something. But Positive finally gets the move done on Hurricane. Again, Hurry doesn't have the DRS to hurry, you know, just wants the Mercedes to dart right through them, I'm sure. As now an Aston Martin is chasing behind the AlphaTauri on full-on push mode, it seems. Whilst Positive is not really that fussed at the moment in what's going on behind. Oh, it is Sam now with another 3-second time penalty for 3 corner cutting offences. There's a yellow flag, and I think it's the head. The head really has been decapitated now, it seems, and is sadly having a few spinalas, one too many it seems. But this could give Phoenix a chance here. Bear in mind they are on mediums, so we'll probably have to do another stop. But we'll see how it goes. As now we're on board with the Sand Badger to see what happens in this epic fight for second. Again, as you're seeing, these DRS trains are starting to happen now, where there'll be little groups of cars fighting tooth and nail for each respective position. And now it looks like Creations is going to seek a move on Matthew, not using ERS, neither driver actually interested in the overtake that badly. Oh, and interestingly, Sam has got lost 12th to Jerker there, and Thallow has made a couple of positions. But there's no changes at the front as it stands. Meanwhile, further behind, we can see Jerker getting an excellent job there on Sam W11. Again, they are on the medium tyres, so they need to be dispatched up relatively quickly before the tyre wear fades. Oh, there's an Aston Martin off. It's Kevin. He's been annihilated by someone. There's a penalty for what I believe is the head, probably. Actually, I was going to say Hurricane, but it is the head of 3 seconds, sorry. I'm trying to find the best place for the Twitch bar, and I've just figured out where it is, but I can't stop the action now because it is just too intense. Another 3-second time penalty, and I think this time it is for a reoccurring driver, so nothing ordinary. But Smidgy making a very desperate move on Hurricane there. Hurricane very keen to not lose 8th place, but in practice it'll probably be easy to just let it go, as Creations has made the move on Matthew with the power of DRS. Second place has changed again. Matthew could just use Creations as a bit of a DRS assistance tool to push them further up the order, but the Williams has beaten the Alfa Romeo, just like in the real life season, and Thallow is even getting past what's it called, Sam. But meanwhile, it is TP versus TP action here. Armakinga versus Basketball Down. Let's see what the Ferrari is. An excellent drive out of the corner. Beautiful stuff there by the Welsh Dragon. A little bit of a tap, but no damage given, and that was an excellent move there by Armakinga for 10th place at this Canadian Grand Prix. Can the Alpine team principal do a switchback? No, they cannot, and they could be susceptible to Jerker, who, being on the medium tyres and the front runner of those medium tyre group, as Kevin Annihilate is making a very early pit stop there onto some mediums. Is in pole position to lead once everybody on the soft tyres has made their pit stop. As now Jerker's going to go around the outside. Is this going to work on Basketball Dan? Kylie send him back to the hoops. He cannot off the corner, but he's going to use ERS and probably get the DRS from Basketball Dan. But Dan will also get the flap from the Welsh Dragon. But let's Jerker have the place back, trying to fight around the outside, but to no avail. But actually comes in for a pit stop, so I think a few drivers are. Spenny, Hurricane, Dan and Thallow are all making pit stops. They will drop down, but they will have that undercut. And let's see what they go on to, more importantly. So Spenny's mediums, Hurricane's mediums, Dan is mediums, Thallow is medium. So everybody who is pitted has moved on to a set of medium tyres, indicated by the yellow side markings. So for everybody who is running on soft tyres now and is 12th place or higher, that tyre wear should be absolutely dreadful. The head is also making a pit stop as well. But meanwhile, the fight for second keeps getting intense, and there's another penalty for someone. But again, with this Twitch bar, I cannot identify who just yet. But I'm sure you will keep it in touch as the Sand Badger makes an excellent move around Matthew Van there, creating a podium opportunity in the Ferrari now. It is Ferrari versus Ferrari power unit. What can Matthew do? He goes to the inside. The Sand Badger goes to the outside. Full on there, but Matthew darts it into the pit lane, probably throwing the Ferrari off course a little bit. And now the Williams will boost all the way around the inside of this corner to the left. Can he make it work? Yes, he can. He could be creating an excellent pass here. They're going to go side by side through the first couple of corners at the Circuit Villeneuve in Montreal, but the Sand Badger stays ahead. Excellent drive between these two, even coming on the grass. Almost could have been a Vettel 2019 scenario, but thankfully it was not. Matthew has pitted onto mediums, so yeah, everybody has basically just pitted onto a set of medium tyres. So we'll see how long the mediums can go in this race. The game is saying a 2-stop, but again, if you can stretch out that sort of either the softs or the mediums, you could then end up doing a soft medium soft race. And actually all that lovely rain talk I was talking about looks like it has vanished as Andreas pulled an absolute weapon of a gap. But let's see what happens in this fight for second place. Once again, a couple of drivers could be making some moves further down, but I think the Sand Badger has pulled a very big advantage over the Williams as it stands. None of them using ERS in any way, shape or form. But it's not the Ferrari's turn to pit though. The Williams and the Ferrari are staying out, but crucially the race leader is in. So, the McLaren driver from Italy, as we can indicate, Andrea 330, the Season 1 Tier 2 champion, is coming in. There's a speeding in the pit lane offence for someone. I'm not quite sure who. There's a couple of drivers darted in. Druid is getting their wind changed and going on to his own medium tyres. Positives on mediums. Druid is onto mediums, and that should boost a couple of drivers up the order. As Sam has spun on a fresh set of, on an old set of mediums at 9 laps. The British commentator is struggling to keep those tyre temperatures together, and oh, that's a massive shame there. They were doing so well in the Haas car. But alas, it is 10th place for them at the moment. Out of the drivers who have pitted, Andrea is in the lead of this group in 7th place, but now comes onto this train for 4th place that is frontlined by a certain number 28, Czech of Jerka 2009. But let's see what happens at the front. Will these two finally make that precious pit stop? No, they do not. They're going to stay out. They're going to try and do a long soft stint. Very interesting here to see what these two will do. But Smidgy comes in, so Jerka should take Smidgy's place. They're started in 3rd prior to the pit stop, only 4th in the pits. They remember that they are an Aston Martin driver coming into the pit lane, and it is on to worse out of medium compound tyres. As a McLaren and an Alfa Romeo received penalties, but Andrea is going around the inside, not just of his teammate, but looks like a Pepsi as well. Beautiful stuff by the Italian there, and that is them climbed up 2 positions into 4th. Fantastic stuff, and now Matthew will be wanting to get past this queue very quickly here, but Spenny's going to try a move on Pepsi. Let's see what happens. It's the McLaren 1-2, and Matthew uses the door opener. Pepsi, who has had their undergarments absolutely pulled down on those 10-lap mediums. But man, Matthew's overtake certainly has got to be a contender for overtake of the race. I'm sorry, but that was beautiful. And now Jerka's going to be struggling on those mediums, locks up a bit there, just knows that he does not need to fight this one. If anything, it will slow him down the more he uses ERS and resists the McLaren. A bit like a certain type of catastrophe that could happen. But anyway, the AlphaTauri darts out of the way, lets the Italian fly past in the McLaren car, and thus that'll be a very easy 3rd place. Now, it'll be the same situation for, I assume, Spenny and Matthew, because those mediums are still relatively fresh, and yeah, the AlphaTauri does not make it too hard, makes it a bit of a pain, but nothing too unmanageable there in 5th place. Oh, the Alpine there, basketball down, taking a very interesting line through the chicane that consists of the Wall of Champions there. Very interesting stuff. as now Jerker has done a nice job at parking Matthew, but with those fresh mediums against those older ones, Jerker knows there's not much left within the tyres. Oh, it's a very tight squeeze there from the Alfa Romeo, but it's okay, no damage has been given to either car. And so the McLaren he'll be behind the McLaren now, will Matthew of Spenny F1, but Andrea on those fresher mediums and having the track advantage beforehand is absolutely yeeting away from his teammate. Maybe his teammate is playing the team game here and deliberately sandbagging behind, just so that Matthew has a right old nightmare of a time. In the Alfa Romeo again, they're trying to restore the gap that was present prior to the safety car, and so Creations is coming in. Finally, off those set of softs. Could this be enough to do maybe a soft, medium, soft perhaps? Who knows, but Sandbadger showing they can go at least 12 laps long. Excellent stuff there from the Ferrari drivers. A couple of drivers making moves like Creations and Kevin getting past their car, another car respectively there. And Druid has also got past Sam, so clearly Sam on those 12 lap mediums is struggling chronically, very badly. But positive on the fresher mediums, but not too much from Hurricane, so let's see what happens here. Positive thinking about the move, but not yet available again. The Mercedes driver, I'd say, has got slightly more ERS and is not deploying it now. Another penalty for multiple corner cutting warnings for one of the drive, actually 2 in a row there. But Hurricane is defending like a lion against Positive, but we'll see what the gentleman who informed me that my microphone wasn't working can do. He's going to go around the inside. Hurricane does not fight that one too much. He doesn't have DRS. He knows it's a stupid fight to fight for when you do not even have the flap open so that your car can take off like a rocket ship. And another round of drag reduction systems for good measure as Sandbadger finally enters the pit lane and goes onto a set of mediums. So, as there's a speeding in the pit lane offence, probably for Sam sadly, so that race is going from bad to worse. Somebody picked up the multiple warnings there. But Andrea leads on 4 lap mediums from Matthew, 5 lap mediums, and Spenny on 6 mediums. Fair play to Jerker and Pepsky though, for managing to keep 4th and 5th on 13 lap mediums. I'm sure they must be screaming to be rejected now. But Pepsky has got a bit of a train going, so it's worth the AlphaTauri just keep staying out and keep it calm, because it could be one less stop and that could be a lot of pace gained in the long haul. But Pepsky is keeping the train of the likes of Positive, Hurricane behind, as Spenny has gone to the outside and made an excellent move on Matthew. 7.034 there, defended the position absolutely masterfully, and we'll see what happens here as Positive has now got past Pepsky. But it looks like Jerker's come in anyway and timed that to perfection as the AlphaTauri driver, but Spenny successfully defends from the fast-charging Matthew. 7.034. Positive doing a great job to nurse themselves in the 4th. Jerker going on to softs now. Interesting and very influential strategy call, as is Pepsky. So clearly these two doing the counter strategy, it seems. Now they'll be able to fly through the order with everyone's softs being so... mediums, I should say, being so warm, especially, you know, given the fact that the mediums are going to be up to about 5-6 laps. By the time their softs get going, all the mediums will not be as optimal as before. So again, it is not a bad day in the office if you are on those softs at this stage in the Grand Prix. However, Spenny has to now defend from Matthew once again. We saw his epic Hamilton-Alonso fighting, but this time does not have much GRS. Matthew does not use much GRS either, but successfully gets the move done. And now, as Matthew's picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh, that has massively changed the complexion of this race. Excellent psychological build-up play by, as I think the head's gone on the penalty, is a yellow flag. It's a Red Bull of the head. Oh dear, the less said about their race so far, the better they will be. They'll want this one to be forgotten, and so we forget about their performance. But now, Matthew has got a task. Kenny hunts down Andrea, but not just by 1.7 seconds, and gets the DRS, and get past him, but also, crucially, build a 3-second barrier with another pit stop to go. I would love to see what the Alfa Romeo driver can do in these circumstances. Is creation seeking to move themselves up a place? Have they created a new destiny for themselves? Not yet, as they will stay in 5th place behind Positive there. As Sam W11 has successfully made it past Basketball down there off screen and has moved themselves into 17th place there. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that one, as another driver has picked up a penalty. Whilst the race are in a quiet moment, let's run you through the penalty count as it stands. Matthew 7034, hunting down Andrea, is on 3 seconds. Creations on 6. Hurricane is on 3. Druid is on 6, but crucially has to defend now from the Sand Badger. What can the Badger do? Will he say Badger Badger Mushroom? I think he will, and that is the Badger up into 8th place there in the Scuderia Amazon Web Services machine. Pretty easily. Bear in mind, Druid does not have any DRS assistance, but the Sand Badger is got, I should say, 3 seconds of time penalties with Druid on 6 seconds. Pack-a-Fan, interestingly, has 14 of them, so that will not be good for them. Pepsi has got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Phoenix has got 9. Sam has got 14. Basketball Down has got 6, along with the head. And as for position changes, we've got Spenny and Positive, who've moved up by 1. Creations, who have dropped down 2, sadly. Hurricane's up by 1, along with Smidgy and Sandbadger. Druid with 9. 9th place now. Sorry, and I've lost 3 positions. Pack-a-Fan with 6. Jerka with 4. Up the order. Armakinga was lost 2 at the stage. Pepsi has gained 6. Oh, actually, there's a bit of a change. Those Creations gets past Positive there, using the power of DRS assistance. Is not good for the Mercedes team principal. With Phoenix down 3 places, Thallo up 2, Basketball down 7, and Sam down 6. You know what, I just want to congratulate all the drivers, because considering how tight and twisty Canada is, it's a miracle that none of them have smashed it out of the Grand Prix. This is a genuinely miraculous recovery, and I think it just goes to show you how important it is to keep it clean, and how you could earn a lot of juicy points, even if your 19th is still worth a handful of points, which can go a long way in the fight for the Constructors' Championship. There's a yellow flag though. I think it's an Alpine. It is Basketball Down on the hards, interestingly. Has spun themselves around, and oh, what a shame for them. They had to try something a bit bold, and unfortunately it has not worked. Eventually the Alpine team principal will gingerly get their mobile away. But no retirements, so we could be on for one of our first races in a while where every single car is finished. Actually, you all may want to guess, stream chat, the last time when HTR had a race where every single car who started finished. I would genuinely like to know when that last time was. With Dan moving on to a set of medium tyres there to get this beautiful panning shot. So, never. Well, I'm sure. Actually, that's a good point. That's an interesting guess there, Wild Pie. Very interesting guess. As Spenny has come into the pits, so this is going to be probably for a set of mediums to the end. I don't believe that it'll be for a set of soft tyres, given the fact that 15 lap softs cannot do. But if the drivers can be patient enough and stick it out for at least 2 more laps, it looks like Smiggy's going to make a move on Hurricane. Beautiful move by the Aston Martin round the inside, but the AlphaTauri is given just enough space and is fighting back. And the Aston Martin has successfully shaken and stirred the AlphaTauri, but they'll just need to sit within DRS and they can have another good crack at the whip. Perhaps maybe trying. Bear in mind they're on 13 lap mediums. It could be wise for the AlphaTauri to make a pit stop, possibly onto a set of softs if they're prepared to do some tyre management. See, those 13 lap mediums are starting to wiggle and sway due to the tyre wear obviously coming off the carcass. So let's see what the leaders will do. The top 2 don't do anything. Croatians does nothing. Mercedes does nothing. Aston Martin nor AlphaTauri clearly not wanting to tyre manage at this stage of the Grand Prix, and probably will want to be backing off the ERS deployment at least a little bit sooner. But someone who is not is Spenny, who's on a charge, who's the first to make a pit stop onto a set of mediums, past the Sandbadger relatively quickly there around the outside. We've not seen one of those, but a beautiful switchback by the Sandbadger, an excellent stuff there, and that sees the Sandbadger into 7th place. Fantastic stuff. I know there have been a few, but that has got to be surely a contender for overtaking the race. A good old switchback move. You love to see the Uno reverse card being deployed. But meanwhile, Jerker is going to make an excellent dive bomb on the softs on Pakistan. Beautiful stuff there by the AlphaTauri. A lot of confidence from long range is what you love to see on those 7-lap old soft tyres. As Creations have spun round! Oh dear, we're just checking to see where the yellow flag came from, and Creations, who already picked up a penalty, has spun themselves round, and if they really did not have a chance of winning now, it's looking very much in the impossible territory. If they can get a podium out of this, I would be surprised. As Hurricane makes a pit stop, let's see what the AlphaTauri goes on to. It could be softs, as we've seen, or it could be mediums. Interestingly there, mediums, clearly not wanting to experience that end race tyre wear. Fair enough. What about the Williams crew? They're going to go softs. So Creations is going to go onto the softs and repair their front wing, which wasn't really that damaged, or maybe there's a visual glitch, I'm not too sure. But Pepsi is having a good battle with Pakistan, and on the soft tyres has made it work. Into 10th place goes the Williams there. Fantastic action there by the driver whose car is made in Grove in Oxfordshire. Meanwhile, Sam W11 on relatively worn soft tyres is going to begin to the head on brand new set of mediums. The head clearly deciding where they want Sam to get past, as Hurricane makes an excellent move on Pakistan, which is something they need to do nice and swiftly. The Tottenham supporter really showing a lot of fighting character on their AlphaTauri debut. As all these drivers now are going to be on really worn mediums, but Spenny has got an advantage. He has cut through most of the midfield this race, and now if we check to the leader graphic very quickly, is within pit stop range of the leader Andrea. So as it stands, as long as he can now nurse his tyres, he could be within a very good shout to being first or second this race. Pepsi and Pakistan both come in. I suspect it'll be a set of soft tyres for both of them to the end of the Grand Prix. It probably will be, but let's just confirm. It is mediums for Pepsi, but soft for Pakistan. So drivers not sure at this stage as to what tyre to be on for the final stint. But let's see what the leaders are going to do. Matthew has cut into Andrea's advantage. It is down to 1 second. 1.1 to be really technical, but we'll see if Andrea decides to make a pit stop. No, Matthew does not either. Positive might want to consider this here, bearing in mind he knows how fast Spenny is doing and catching up to them at a rate of knots. He does not, but the two Hasses are going to pit. That's going to cause some double stacking issues. Smidgy does not, Spenny does not, Sandbadger does not, and nor does Druid. No, Druid is going to go in, so we're getting our second oldest driver of the race. It's a yellow flag. It's an Alfa Romeo. Wait, is that why? It's Matthew! He's retired and a safety car's been called out! Matthew is retired from the... Oh, he got a bit of... Oh, no, he got a little bit too happy on the curb. And that's what happens when you stay out too long on a set of tyres. Nobody's fault there. But that could massively change the championship, knowing the championship leader has bottled it, essentially. At least from our perspective, but then again, there could have been some contact. But I don't think there was, given how well everybody was well behaved. Thallo's coming for set of softs. This could be an optimal pit stop for the Mercedes driver. And this could suddenly... I was about to say, it's not a HTR race if somebody does not finish the Grand Prix yet. Everybody will surely be pitting in. So expect to see a massive car salami pile-up. As Andrea does not need to rush. Has got a very good gap over everybody. Obviously going to go on to a sort of soft tyres to the end. Pretty straightforward on the number 24. Positive is going to be coming in for a sort of softs. Phoenix will stay out, interestingly, want to get themselves unlapped. Smidgy will be coming, even Spenny, which is surprising considering they had the mediums. But anyway, Sandbadger is coming in. Jerker, I'm sure we wanted to come in. But yes, Hurricane does the very noble thing, and I massively appreciate that as the team principal, staying out, knowing the fact their mediums are hardly worn, and they could easily take them to the end of the race. That will plop them into P number 3. Yes, Positive did just jump ahead, but excellent stuff there by Hurricane, and great teamwork and coordination down at the A-Team's garage. But yeah, Armour King and mediums, that's very interesting. So that is an interesting call by Armour Kinga to go on mediums. Very intelligent, actually, because the soft tyres will struggle at the end of the stint. I mean, yes, there's a few laps on the safety car, so they're not going to be pushing loads, but still, that's very interesting stuff there. Kevin Annihilator staying out. Thallo pitting on softs, just about jumping Pepsi there, who's just pitted as well. Packfans on softs, the heads on mediums. Phoenix is on the softs, unfortunately in the safety car queue, I think, and they cannot unlap themselves. I'm sure a fix F1 2022 will do. Sam W11 is in 17 on fresh softs, with Basketball Dan staying out on their tyres, though I'm sure they'll be looking to come in any moment now. So Andrea leads from Positive, and then Hurricane. But they will all, except for Andrea, will have to clear the back marker of Phoenix in a hurry there. So, to all of you 14, thank you so much for sticking around the past hour and 12 minutes. But what has been your favourite moment of this Canadian Grand Prix? Mine so far has to be the move, I think the switchback we got from the Sandbadger. Excellent stuff by formerly Harvey of HTR. A great manoeuvre by Harvey there. Brilliant stuff, you love to see it. Of course, we have the wonderful Aston Martin as our chaperone safety car of the day. I thought it would have been the Mercedes, given the fact that, you know, Canada, its flag is made up of two colours, red and white, and that is proudly displayed on the CrowdStrike Mercedes safety car. But hey, it was not meant to be, I guess. And now, what can Andrea do? They have led this race from start to finish. Can they do a Daniel Ricciardo and keep their calm and composure at Monza in a McLaren 2021 car and win the Grand Prix, as there's a collision between some drivers resulting in penalties there? Ah, you hate to see it under the safety car, but it is staying up for one more lap, I believe. Yeah, he's... Oh, no, it's not. It is coming in. The lights have turned off. The safety car is coming in this lap. And actually, we'll probably get a nice view from Phoenix, actually. But yes, let's see what the race leader's going to do. He's going to dart now, and unfortunately Phoenix has to dart out of the way of everybody. But not yet, it is still yellow flag conditions. And now this is the Andrea gap that he absolutely needs. It's already 1 second, and now the Haas is going to just straight up go into AI and let everybody go through. But the AI is fighting. The AI is fighting, which is going to make life much more negative for the Mercedes team principal. In positive, who swiftly gets through Phoenix there. Next up is the AlphaTauri Hurricane. No changes as it stands. There's another driver with penalties. But again, it's only an AI. They can go straight through them. No need to fight them too hard here. Just as long as they can get it down. Again, they are on a set of mediums, so they don't need to push crazy right now. Bearing in mind that they will get the tyre advantage later on at the end of this race. So I wouldn't worry too hard. It's a bit risky, but Andrea is in the lead with that crucial 1 second barrier restored from positive. And then Hurricane is now just about getting past the Haas, who is making life slightly more difficult. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 there, and I wonder who that is. I'm not sure at this moment in time, but I think Basketball Dan and Sam have gone into ghost mode as well. But there's some blue flag messages, and I think multiple warnings result in drivers getting penalties, and now Phoenix has to drop the act and basically let everybody through, which must be an absolute nightmare. I'm sure the stewards will look into that incident. But now, it's a 1.3 second barrier. How positive does the Mercedes TP feel? Can they hunt down the win? Can they take over and do the job that Matthew could not do? Or will we finally, despite Andrea getting the penalty there, receive Andrea's first ever Tier 1 victory after it was taken away through a penalty repeal at America? Positive does have 6 seconds though. 3. So, again, Positive not only... It's a bit of a Matthew situation. Not only does he have to get past the Italian in the McLaren, but he has to just straight up stroll ahead, as Hurricane is doing the defensive job of his career here, making sure that Smidgy and Spenny fight. They're not giving much room to each other. This could end in catastrophic tears. We're going to go on board with the Sand Badger, who has an excellent perspective on this epic fight for 3rd place. There's a blue flag probably for Phoenix, but Hurricane is keeping his calm and composure. A little bit of a touch between the Ferrari versus the McLaren. It's just like a battle in the 1990s all of a sudden. Whereas now the Ferrari's going to go to the inside, I should say. Spenny leaving enough room, I think, given the situation. Trying to do it in a reverse card. Have they got it up their sleeve? No, because they're not deploying their ERS, and Spenny makes sure that does not happen. So it is the AlphaTauri in 3rd from the Aston Martin. And somebody has spun, I believe. Oh! It is an Alpine, sadly. I believe it is Basketball Dan who spun round, and well, that day's just been not the best, I have to say. Druid has received a penalty of 3 more seconds. It will be added to the time at the end of that race. And so the battle continues. Even Creations is starting to get involved with the Madhouse. But again, oh! And Spenny's gone round, but it was a great save. Nearly ended in tears, but the Badger dodging the carnage, and the Sand Badger was very lucky to not get contact, and Spenny was lucky to not retire from the race there. Clearly getting contested. Is going to go to the outside again. Hurricane does not need to fight this too hard. He does not have any penalties, so we can use him as DRS fodder. Meanwhile, the Sand Badger, who does, is going to try and make a move on soft. He's not going to do one. He's going to do the 2 of them. Oh, there's contact though, and the Sand Badger has gone right around. Oh, all the carnage is starting to happen. It's turning into a bit of a wacky race, and we've only got 4 laps to go of this Canadian Grand Prix. If I was the AlphaTauri, I'd tell him to hold station now at this point, because he knows that at this stage it will not come into him until when those softs start to go off at the very end of the race. But that gap is shrinking at the front, with Positive now getting into that 1 second barrier. Is it going to start now? We see it happen next lap. We'll find out now. Again, the DRS detection zone is imminent, essentially, so this is going to be very, very important to witness, as I should be getting my computer on charge any moment now. But Smidgy still remains ahead of Hurricane. We're going to jump on board with Creations and see what the McLaren can do, who nearly went fully around in this Canadian Grand Prix against the new AlphaTauri driver. Again, fresh, well, worn mediums against worn soft. Let's see what happens. They're going to be at a similar life, I feel, give or take, depending on the driver, obviously. But close, but no West cigarettes for them. But Hurricane are thinking a move, but the Tottenham supporter not wanting a Wembley moment there. Unfortunately, it looks like that'd be a bad idea. Oh, there's the pit lane. Oh, smash has been solved up there. So. For the Alfa Romeo, who is giving up basically on this race. No safety cars because they did retire in the pit lane, but it is a dark day to forget if you're a fan of Polish petroleum companies sponsoring your Formula 1 car. But now, with just 3 laps to go, it is Positive versus Andrea. Let's see what happens. Andrea's going to AI mode though. Oh, nearly. That could have cost them. That could cost them come the final end of the race because the AIs are programmed to be a little bit slower in our league. Not too detrimental, but still, it will cost them at every single step of the way. As now we've only got 3 laps to go till the end of this Canadian Grand Prix, and Positive is within years in the victory from Andrea. Will he bottle it? We'll have to find out. Smitty's in third, but Hurricane loses out to Spenny, makes an excellent move there. For 4th place, lovely stuff by the McLaren driver. Again, Hurricane knows those mediums are going to start to fall off, but so will the softs of creation. So this could be an epic fight worth keeping your eyes on for 5th place. Meanwhile, the Ferraris have done a switcheroo. Oh, just give it to me, she's too tired. Anyway, with that said, Smidgy is still in 3rd place with Spenny in 4th. Smidgy and Spenny, combination of words to say, it's back to back. It sounds like I wouldn't want to say that if I was drunk. Put it that way. But now, the Smiglet is into 3rd place with Spenny in 4th. Let's see what Spencer can do. He goes to around the inside with the RS, and yeah, it was a pretty straightforward manoeuvre there. But very expected, given the fact that the Aston Martin does not have any DRS. And so the McLaren is into 3rd. Ferrari's trading positions, I assume for fun, as there's no team orders. Bearing in mind how far they are away from the field. Oh, miss you, Dougie. As Creations makes an excellent move there around the inside of Hurricane for 5th place there. The Williams driver has Hurricane! Nearly spins it, but keeps it together. Just knows he's got to keep his calm and his cool. As it stands, he knows this by now, and Jerka could be hunting him down if a few too many of those mistakes do end up happening. However, the fight for the front is getting intense. Positive is going to deny the Italian potentially of their first ever win. They got it denied back in America 2 weeks ago. Now we could see another loss for the Italian, who is doing very well to be fighting up in this position. 2 former Tier 2 champions have ascended to Tier 1, and now it's a fight of the champions. Let's see what happens here. Positive has gone to AI though, but the AI is going to do the business. It's a long send, but Positive's gone into AI because of connection issues. That could be costly as we go into the final lap of the race. Positive has returned, but they must be feeling very negative being an AI for a bit there, as my doggy is getting very excited by this action. But Andrea keeps in front as Positive goes into AI once again. Oh, the internet issues are kicking in, and that might be the Hail Mary that the Italian needs to win this race. Spenny is into 3rd ahead of Spitchy, with Creations in 4th, Hurricane in 5th. 6th I should say. Fighting this one, Mega Hard is a yellow flag. I'm not sure who it is though. Nobody has spun. It could be someone letting someone else through. But that AI connections could be costly. As it stands, now we're just going to go on board with this epic fight for the lead. Positive done all the hard work, but then internet connection issues slow down their day, and now it's just a couple more corners to negotiate. If there's a bottle by the Italian, this will not be the fairy tale win that I'm sure you Italian fans of HTR will be wanting to see. There's a yellow flag somewhere, but nobody cares right now, if I'm being brutally honest. 1 more corner to go, and they've done it. Could this be a sign? They've dodged the wall of champions. They dodged all the obstacles and won. The Italian, well, the Italian has won the Canadian Grand Prix on the road, but Smidgy got within the penalty that Andrea had, and the Aston Martin has taken the victory. What an incredible drive. Formerly Kiranjis has finally got a win in quite some time as their new name seems to be a new them in the HTR community. Smidgy wins from Andrea, who will be cruelly denied another win. 2 in 3 weeks. You hate to see it, with Positive in 3rd, Hurricane in 4th, Spenny in 5th, Creations in 6th, Kevin Arnett to 7th, Petsky 8th, Anakin in 9th. The Head, incredibly, made it into 10th. Fair play. I did not see that one coming. Sand Badger in 11th, Thallow in 12th, Jerker down in 13th, Packerfan 14th, who lost their front wing, interestingly. Phoenix in 15th, Sam 16th, and down 17th through drifts across the line. But now we will get our top 3 in on the action here. We'll be bringing our top 3 hopefully in to a party call with us in just a few moments time. But stream chat, what an end to a race. Indeed, super smidge indeed. Oh dear. And so, it is an Aston Martin victory. I think the first time in the Kevin Annihilator era. Had Hayden. I'm the head Mazepin. Gets a great points for the team. Indeed, well done, dude. Fair play. You getting 10th. I didn't expect. I was like, whoa, you're in 10th. Lovely. You know, but excellent job there on that recovery. We'll be inviting our top 3 into the party, obviously. And if they wish to join, they will be giving us a short post-race interview. But we'll see how this event goes. We've got Smidgy winning the race from Andrea, then Positive, followed by Hurricane, and then Spenny, Creations. Then it is Kevin and I to Pepski, Armikinger, The Head, Sam Badger, Thallow, Jerker, Packerfan, Phoenix, Sam, Basketball Dan, Druid, and then Matthew. Well, thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute blast, and I will see you all next week, hopefully, for round 8, the Austrian Grand Prix. Remember, you can follow us here on Twitch, and we'll be broadcasting tomorrow for the Tier 2 equivalent of this Grand Prix. I hope it's an absolute slapper of a Grand Prix, but alas, I have been Fadoodle, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.